All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're looking at the hard biological and mathematical case for owning your morning. We're going to explore exactly how the first hour of your day is, without a doubt, the single highest leverage choice you can make for your future. And I mean that literally. This goes way beyond any temporary surge of motivation or some viral advice you saved on your phone and immediately forgot about. No, we're talking about the actual foundation of where you are going to be 5 years from now and how it all starts with a seemingly boring daily habit.
Because let's be real, 5 years from now, will you be proud or will you just be stuck? One of two things is going to happen. You're either going to look around and realize, wow, I actually changed my life, or you'll look around and realize absolutely nothing moved. You'll just have the exact same stress, the same talk, and a different calendar on the wall. I really want us to confront a stark reality right off the bat. Your outcome 5 years down the line is actually decided before you even finish your first morning scroll in bed. It's not decided late at night, and it definitely isn't decided on New Year's Day. It gets decided in that quiet, early morning window.
So let's jump straight into the first part of this and identify the actual underlying enemy of your progress.
Look, that early morning window, it either totally belongs to you or it gets handed over to everything else. Take the snooze button, for example. Smacking that snooze button might feel like a harmless 9 or 10 minutes of glorious bonus rest, right? Even if it's mostly just confusing, half awake tossing and turning. But here's the thing. The snooze button isn't actually selling you extra sleep. It is selling you delay. And delay is purchased with an interest rate that you end up paying later in the day through stress, regret, and that heavy, sinking feeling that time is just passing you by. You're basically teaching your brain a super dangerous lesson that comfort comes before everything else. You are effectively training yourself to quit before your day even starts.
Now, think about the difference between how most people live versus how truly successful people operate. It really comes down to reaction mode versus intention mode. Reaction mode is just drifting through life. It's waking up and immediately responding to messages, news feeds, and everyone else's emergencies. You end up giving your absolute best mental energy to other people's priorities, and then you try to build your own future on whatever leftover scraps of energy you have at night when your decision-making power is completely fried. But contrast that with intention mode. This is where you fiercely protect your early window to build, to think, and to move the needle forward. People who operate in intention mode aren't necessarily working harder than you are. They're just working earlier, before the world has a chance to attack their attention. All right, moving on. Let's pivot away from the philosophy for a second and look at the hard biology of why early action simply crushes late effort.
40%. Seriously, let that sink in. Science backs up this morning advantage in a really undeniable way. In the first 90 minutes after you wake up, your brain chemistry naturally rises to get you moving. Your stress stays super low, and you are up to 40% more focused. Your attention, your memory, your problem-solving capabilities, they all just work better in this specific window. And this isn't because you're somehow special, it's just how human biology is wired. But it's a short window, and it does not come back later in the afternoon, no matter how many triple-shot iced lattes you aggressively pour into your system. This is a massive biological edge that most people literally just throw away on social media before they even realize they had it.
And this brings us to neuroplasticity. I love this concept. When you wake up, scientists describe your brain as being in the state of flexible, highly impressionable learning. Think of your morning brain like wet cement. Whatever steps on it first is going to leave a mark. If you feed it nonsense, anxiety, and distraction right out of the gate, well, that sets. But if you feed it deep focus and clear direction, that sets instead. And over time, those daily marks in the cement turn into your actual identity. Your brain is quite literally reshaping itself based on what you do the minute you open your eyes. Okay, let's shift gears now and look at the simple math of compounding progress. It is time to stack the deck in your favor. Let's break down the timeline here, because the math is pretty wild. 1 hour a day feels really small, right? Honestly, it looks unimpressive, and it definitely isn't going to get you a bunch of likes online. But one protected hour a day adds up to 365 hours a year. If you do the math on that, it equals 15 full 24-hour days of perfectly clean, uninterrupted progress every single year. No skipped weekends, zero half focus, just pure momentum. If you stack that over 5 years, it creates an unbridgeable, frankly almost unfair gap between you and the competition. While everyone else is hitting snooze and dreaming, you are literally stacking days. But you know, it's not even just about getting the work done. It goes deeper. It's about self-trust. Self-trust grows when you keep promises to yourself. Every single morning that you act with intention, you're sending your brain undeniable proof that you are someone who actually does what they say they're going to do.
It's proof that comfort doesn't run your life and proof that you show up and put in the reps even without an audience clapping for you. That compounding proof builds massive, quiet self-confidence over time, the kind of confidence that no motivational podcast could ever give you.
So how do we actually do this? Let's move to the blueprint. And spoiler alert, it's a simple biological baseline, not some crazy, complex routine.
Let me be super clear about this. Reclaiming your morning has absolutely nothing to do with toxic hustle culture. You don't need to grind yourself into the ground just for the sake of feeling pain, and you definitely don't need a perfectly aesthetic 50-step morning routine. Let's walk through this idiot-proof blueprint together. Step 1, drink water. Step 2, move your body. Step 3, pick the domino. And step 4, learn or build. That is literally it. The true power here isn't in having the perfect plan. The power is in ruthlessly protecting your focus from noise while you do these 4 simple things. It's simply about protecting the future you from the current you's desire for comfort. Let's zoom in on that very first step for a second because it is absolutely fascinating. Did you know your brain is literally 75% water? When you wake up dehydrated after a long night, your cognitive focus naturally drops by about 30%. That means drinking a single tall glass of water immediately unlocks a third of your brain power before you even start your day. It's not just some wellness fad, it is quite literally a biological requirement to function.
And then I really want to clarify step 3, picking the domino task. This is a game changer. The first hour of your morning is absolutely not the time to sit down and write out a massive, anxiety-inducing to-do list that just makes you feel hopelessly behind. No. It's about picking one clear target, just one specific thing that actually moves your life forward. That's the domino. It's the one task that, if you just knock it down first thing, makes everything else in your day either way easier or completely unnecessary. If you tackle that in your protected hour, suddenly the rest of the day just feels incredibly light. All right, as we look toward the next 5 years, let's talk about how your identity actually follows your behavior. Think of it this way. Every single morning, you're waking up and casting a vote. You can either vote for growth, or you can vote for drift. When you vote for growth and start your day in total control, you actually regulate your nervous system. Throughout the day, stress just hits you differently because you know you've already handled the most important thing. Acting like a focused person for long enough eventually makes it your permanent identity. Or you can vote for drift. You can wait around for motivation to strike, make excuses, and lie to yourself about where your time actually went. But here's the secret. Motivation is a total trap. It follows action. It never, ever leads it.
There's this incredibly powerful quote to remember here. You become what you practice when no one watches. And it is so true. Listen, you're not going to feel like a superhero on day 3. Early progress is actually really quiet. But right around the 90-day mark, a massive shift happens. Deep focus just feels normal. Your baseline level of self-respect skyrockets. You actually start to walk and talk a little differently because you're carrying yourself like someone who actually keeps their word to themselves. Here is an urgent, slightly uncomfortable reminder to take away from this explainer today. The calendar literally does not care about your excuses. It just keeps flipping pages. No one is coming to magically save you. There is absolutely no perfect time to start. The next 5 years of your life are going to arrive whether you take control of your mornings right now or not. They don't negotiate with you, they will arrive, and they will demand to know exactly what you did with them. So I'm going to leave you with one final kind of haunting question to really chew on tonight. Who owns your mornings? Is it you? Or is it literally everything else? Because the honest answer to that one question decides exactly who you become and whether 5 years from now you are incredibly proud or you are totally stuck. Take back the first hour. Make absolutely sure it belongs to you.